Hello folks, Chad here. Well, got all our roses and stuff in the ground right behind me. Got that cool black-eyed Susan vine over there. But the question is, how do you water these things? You don't want to be watering all your life, every single day, all day, so your plants live. So everything we have is pretty much on a drip system or different types of systems that are modular. So I'll show you how we're going to hook these up to the existing system and kind of the basics of hooking one up in general. First off, you can go to the box stores and you can get just like a kit that has a little bit of everything. If you have just a small space you want to try out first, and then you can start getting specific things that you need as you get used to what it is that you're going to be using specifically. But the kits have a nice variety of stuff. So let me give you the basics. All right, here's our basics for what we're going to be doing. First, you're going to need this hose right here. I believe this is 1/2-inch hose. And that's the big hose here. That's going to be your main thing, kind of like a water hose. It's going to move water through the whole system. You can see that right here. It's just running everywhere. From that, you poke holes in it. Usually you can buy this in a kit. I don't like this one as good as the one I had before, which was straight and just poked a hole. So it depends on what you get. But this, you put it on the hose, squeeze, it pops a hole, and then you'll put a little plastic piece in and hook your 1/4-inch tubing, which is this if you want it to go to a specific place, or drip tubing right there, which is usually a different color. And it's got little holes spread out. So if you wanted to do like a little bit of water to all the different plants in an area, you can surround it, go up and down it with drip tubing. With my roses, I like to use this, which doesn't have any holes in it, and you just clip it off on the other end once it's attached, and we'll do that in a minute. And that way, each one of these roses will be getting an individual little sprinkler. And I'll show you what sprinklers we use. I like to use the adjustable multi-stream with a stake for my roses and any other like big shrubs. Like for example, that Japanese maple has one coming right off, and it's stuck right in the ground, right up under it, and it waters it every morning. Here's what they look like out the box. So the black hose, the tubing, 1/4-inch tubing is going to go right on there, push in, and then you adjust this back and forth, and it's like a little sprinkler. It comes out like in a little fan shape, and you can make it just a little drip, or you can make it go several inches in all directions. So we'll get to that as we hook it up. And last thing you'll need is you'll want to hook it up to your faucet somewhere. So this thing's always on right here. This is a timer, which you can buy any kind of timer you want. This one is where you can program it, so it's going to come on every morning at the same time. And then your black tubing, you're going to get a little adapter here. This goes onto the end of a water hose or a spigot up here, or the end of this. So it just screws into the basic one. You can buy these. It's probably also a regulator for the pressure built into this one, but you can find those in the kits. And then your hose just pushes on to this part, just pushes on, and that's it. So water's on. When it cuts on, water goes through the hose. And I'll show you a hookup before we start hooking up new stuff. Here's our Japanese maple. Poked a hole right here in this and put a little plastic piece, which I'll show you in a second. Put the 1/4-inch tube pushed it onto the plastic piece. So I'll just push it on and snaps in place. And then right there, I've got that thing all the way pushed down to ground level with the mulch and stuff, but you can see, there it is, and it just has some water coming out right in here every morning. So that's how we do it. All right, so we'll take it step by step here as we hook up all these roses. And there's one thing I'm gonna do. We're gonna hook up the roses individually, but I don't like to have it where it's like, you know, here and here and here and here right next to each other when I poke holes in this main tubing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do from here to here, here to here, here to there. And then for these two, I'm actually gonna take the end of the hose, which I know where it's at right here. I'm gonna cut that little part off here, cut it off right here, put an extender, which is one of these with the same thing on this end, both ends, and put in some more tubing so it's longer. And that way it'll go down here in the front, and we can run off of that and some drip tubing right here for the perennials. All right, so that's what we're planning on doing. Same thing here, but we're gonna go on this side Voila. Oops, I just said I was not going to do that. I was going to go there. Oh well. I think we're actually got enough room for this part. All right, let's get a barb. Pop it in. You might have heard that snap. It was pretty loud. Get this, push it on. Oh, I might have made a hole that time. Might have messed it up. Pushing on there. Got to get a good grip. I was being lazy, trying not to block the camera. If it does mess up and it starts leaking or something because of what I just felt it's kind of push, you can clip it here and here, put an extender right there and pop a hole here and just keep going with it. So it's very modular. Let's see here. Very short one here. Push it on. Don't forget to open it. Right down there. Perfect. And about 3 or 4 so feet apart from each one of these, so this should actually be enough room. Still going to run some extra hose though for future proofing. It's kind of tough to push it down, especially if it's new hose. Just have to work with it a little bit. All right, this one very short too. There it is. Open it. Voila. All right, now let's fast motion it. We're gonna do one right in here, go down a little farther past this rose right here, and should give us plenty of room. All right. Okay, let's say now we want to extend this. You can actually get that to slide off. However, it tends to want to leak right there if you put something new on it. So I would rather cut that off, take that off, use it again eventually if I ever need it, but pull that little extra bit of tube out and start with a fresh cut. So that's what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna be using. Notice it looks like this one on one end, but instead of having a stopper here, it has the same on both ends. So you just stick it in and you're done. Watch how easy. Cut. We'll take that out later on and reuse this part. Take this, push it on, just like that, done. We'll take the new hose, put it here, and run it however far we want, and then we can actually use this and put it on the end. So we'll recycle it if I can get it off correctly. Sometimes they're hard. If not, I buy a bunch of these at a time, so you can always buy a new one. I should have done that beforehand, now that I think about it. Oh well, I'll try it later. Got it out. Nothing your teeth can't do. So, should be able to use that again. Now, let's get the other hose in place. Same hose as what we're using. Just pushing it in. And that's it. Now we run it however far we want. So we're gonna run this one, straighten it out, run it straight up in the middle of those. The perennials here, the daisies, keep going a ways, probably actually quite a ways, maybe running all the way around if we have room. And then cap it off on the end. That way we can have a whole nother area to hook stuff into. We're actually gonna plug a drip tube right here. We're not gonna water those individually. We'll use this drip tubing, which I think every foot has a hole that drips out, and we'll wrap them around each one using some pins to hold it down until the sun hits it for a few days, and then you won't even need the pins anymore. It'll stay in place. All right, let's do that. Hit the button the wrong time, so I didn't actually record this. Just stretch the tube out and put some pins down in place. And now we're gonna install the drip tubing on this tube. Okay, only thing I need now is at the very end of this drip tube where I cut it off, I'm going to need a little stopper, which is another little plastic barb that just doesn't have an opening on the end of it. So go get one of those, plug it in place, and then we'll be ready to get the other end stopped up of the 1/2-inch hose, the black hose. And then first, before you stop it up though, we want to run water through it to get all the air out, and then make sure everything's at the right setting. That might be a little blurry, but that's the plastic barb end with nothing on the other end, so it's solid. All right, as you can see, end of the hose, the other end, I just ran the whole hose around, so we'll have some protection in case we ever want to plant some other stuff here and get it watered easily. So we'll just cap that off. All right, it's hard for me to see, it's so bright out here. I think you all can see that one just spraying water like crazy. That's a little bit too much, but we're not going to adjust it for a couple minutes. Let all the air get out of the system, and then we'll adjust. All those I loosened them up quite a bit, so I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but they are spraying out pretty well. So we'll adjust that because that's way too much water. We want it more like this. See that right there? That's what we're looking for, about like that. This is up under the Japanese maple. Let's adjust. All right, as you can see, coming out too much, twist, twist, twist. Twisted too much, it stopped. A little more. And voila, there you go. Just like that. This one here is not too bad. It can go a little less. All right, good. Because these are only getting water for 30 minutes at a time, so you want a lot of water, a good amount, but not too much. One more twist. That's a little much, but that'll be all right, I think. Yep, should be good. That one's coming out. It's hard for y'all to see. I don't even see that though. All right. Need to put some dirt down in there. Got a little sink. Can't even see that. So all those, they're good. Now we're looking at the drip system. You can see it probably dripping right there. Little drip, it's running down into here. That's what we want to see. A glider next door. I don't know exactly what that's called, but it's a very small little airplane, kind of like a go-kart airplane. Anyway, so you see it dripping now, good. And those are in circles, it's dripping right up under those petunias. Need to adjust that again. So you'll need to adjust it for the first day or so. Just keep an eye on them as all the air comes out. That's still a little more than we want. That's a little less. There it goes, perfect. This one a little much still. That's good. And I made a boo-boo. Didn't hook up anything to these rose trees. There's two of these in the back, one here and one on the other side of that tree. Forgot that, but we've got room because we spaced them out. Should have one right in the middle here, run straight over. That should still have plenty of water pressure to do that. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm not going to show it on the video because you've already seen what I'm going to do. So it's the exact same process that we've just done. All right. So if you guys like the video, click like, click like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.